It's the bag work about of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? Y'all tuned in to the Apartment 5B podcast, hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad up here in effect with me today. Got my man Jason back in effect. What's good, fam?
What's going on, man?
Man, everything back from Thanksgiving. Just ready to rock. JR, what's poppin', good brother?
What's going on? What's up?
Everything is good. And my man Vague, what's going on, fam?
It's good, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my wild man shit and training for this fight. I think I'm ready.
All right.
I ain't, but it's just an excuse because I don't have a head.
All right, y'all. So this is what we chopping up about this week. A couple of weeks ago, Talib Kweli drops this joint, Radio Silence. My man on Twitter gets at me like, yo, you checking for that Kill? I'm like, nah, I ain't been checking for Talib for years. You know what I mean? Not that he's whack. I think Talib is a dope MC, but I don't always love the beats that he picks. You know what I mean? I'm almost like, yo, if he ain't with High Tech or somebody of that caliber, I don't really think, you know, a lot of his stuff is crazy like that. But I'm on the net. I see the video with him and Anderson .Paak, and I'm like, yo, this joint is kind of dope. I'm like, all right, you know, let me give it a spin, see what it is. I actually really like the album. You know what I mean? The joint Radio Silence has got some bangers. The production is good. The MCing is incredible. Jay Electronica is on there. He's got some dope guests. You know, he's talking about some real important shit that's going on right now. So I was like, damn, you know, that's what's up. And it made me start to think like, yo, you know, Talib came back out like 96, 97 during those raucous days. I think the Black Star album dropped in 98. So it just made me think like, damn, I gotta, you know, salute this dude, because this dude like 20 years later is still a dope MC. You know what I mean? So it got me thinking like, what MCs from the 90s can still bring it nowadays? Because a lot of dudes have fallen off, and I want to do another show just on that, like why they fell off and everything like that. But got me thinking of a topic for this week. So we talking about MCs from the 90s who could still bring it. Jace, give me one of your MCs from the 90s who could still bring it.
Before I give you MCs, Joe, just one quick caveat. I think a lot of dudes from the MCs from the 90s can still bring it. It's a matter of the A&R on a project, yo. The beat selection, like you said with Talib, I think is the majority of it. Yo. There's got to be that marriage, that alignment of the MC's ability with the beat.
Right. You know what? That's a good point. Let me jump in real quick and just say this. Also, and we kind of talked about this prior to, but when I'm saying can still bring it, I mean like you're anticipating their album. Not like, you know, if Rakim drops an album, I'll listen to it eventually, but I ain't hyped for no Rakim album. So I'm talking about dudes who can still bring it that you're hyped for, because anybody will listen to anything, but I'm like, yo, word gets the air, so-and-so dropping a new album, you're like, I bet, like, I'm looking forward to that type thing. So
round one,
that's how we're trying to explain it. So who you got, Jason?
Round one, Nas. The album was done a year ago. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting, still waiting, yo.
So talk to me a little about this, because I really don't keep up to date on all this. So the album is done?
Well, that was the name of the song on the Khaled joint. I mean, why would you say that if that ain't the case?
Okay. I mean, good point. You
talk it, you live it, right?
Dog, I just saw something today about I saw something today about Ryan Leslie having to give up all his publishing to the dude. Basically, for cats who don't know, Ryan Leslie, R&B dude, decided to be a rapper, basically lost his laptop. He offered $1 million reward if somebody brought it back because of all the unreleased music that was on it. Bull comes back with the laptop. The music's not on it. He welches on the $1 million. Bull takes him to court, wins the court case. Ryan never gives him no money. So basically, it just came down that now Ryan Leslie basically has to turn over all his publishing for everything to this dude in order for him until he matches up to a certain amount of money. And if by this date he still doesn't match up to that money that he's owed, then it's like boom. So this could go on forever. So when you talking about it, living it, I used to follow Ryan Leslie a lot. He had dope YouTube videos of him in the studio cooking up stuff. But the whole thing with Ryan Leslie, and if you listen to his music like I do, he talks a lot of shit about all the money he got. So I'm like, dog, if you offering a mill, put the mill up. Like, it shouldn't be done for you. You know, of all the shit you talk, and you in the videos with the Bugattis and Lamborghinis and all this stuff, you in Paris, you here, you. And I'm like, yo, I'm thinking, yo, just pay the boy a mill. But obviously, you don't got much of nothing if you got to give up your whole music catalog.
Well, times change, money situations, the dynamics change, and you partying and the bar closes.
I mean, I agree with you because I haven't heard nothing from Ryan Leslie or seen a production credit in a while. But just to go all that to say that if you talk about it, you live it, and it's like that would be cool, but it really ain't cool. You know, for all we know, Nas is sitting around still depressed off of Khalees, you know what I mean, and want to try and keep his name out there. So it's like, yo, let me call the album, you know, album's done or whatever the track was called, just to have people thinking the shit is done. Because what? Nas, that Life is Good, that was 2012. This was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Just saying.
So it's like, doggy, you gotta, come on, man. You can't go to 5 years without, so.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I don't know.
Another thing, too, to think about, just throwing it out there, you get to a certain point in your legacy, you don't want to just be pumping out albums for the sake of pumping out albums, yo, because that can tarnish the legacy, right? So
I agree.
So certain things have to align up. The timing, I think, has to be right. The content has to be perfect for that time as well. And if you don't have to put out an album, do you really put out an album?
I mean, I'm not saying you. Here's the thing, and me being a creative person, again, I'm not a rapper, so vague. This is where you could come in. I mean, there's not maybe more than a month that's ever gonna go by that I don't make a beat. Now, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you're a creative person, you're gonna create. Now, maybe I'm wrong as an MC. Maybe Nas doesn't want to rap. I don't know what it is with these dudes, but I'm just saying this: if you a painter, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a painter who ain't painting 5 years. You know?
Hold up.
What were you gonna say?
I was going to use an analogy. Jordan, he retired. He was in the gym with the fellas, even though he was playing baseball, until he got the itch to really come back.
I mean, yeah, and that could be it. But the thing is I guess with the Jordan thing, I don't know if he retired because his pop died or he lost the passion or whatever it was. So if Nas lost the passion, I mean, that's cool. But again, and this is just me being a creative person. There may be somebody watching like, yo, I am a painter and I paint every 8 years. You know, I don't know. I'm just talking about for me. But again, 5 years, if you can't, I'm not saying you got to make I just think in 5 years, you can make a extremely dope album. So I don't know if Nas, again, it could be lots of things. Maybe he don't got it. Maybe he don't want to rhyme no more. He's doing so many other things. I know he was executive producing the Get Down, and, you know, he was doing, you know, different little things. He got the Bevel. He got some money at Bevel. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe you don't want to rhyme no more. I don't know. Vague, Queensbridge, talk to me, man. Tell me something about Nas.
Well, I do know a little bit of the inside scoop. The album is done. But knowing them and how they operate, I think they're just waiting. I think they're waiting on the timing. Because I think when that whole, the album's done, track dropped, it would have been perfect. But the album wasn't where, you know, he wanted it, or maybe a label, or maybe if he's still working with Steve Stout, where they wanted it. So I think it was a thing where they just looking for the perfect timing, and that's kind of how I pay attention to it, because you think about it where it's like, okay, you know, Jay-Z was a big release, Kendrick is a big release, so you're trying to get out of the way of those, but now you got Eminem coming, you definitely better get the fuck out of his way, because he's going to go diamond, like, it's just guaranteed whether the album's good or not. Mm-hmm. And he's dropping in December, so it's like, well, if M is dropping in the middle of December, Nas ain't coming out to 2018. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, where are you going to drop that album? So I think the album's been done. I think they just looking for the right time to build on some momentum, because they kind of missed that when they had that single out. Because shit, everybody was ready after that. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't matter. So
And the wild part is, I think I'm the only person who ain't like the single. I thought the shit was kind of whack, to be honest. You know, over Fuji Live, I'm like, yo, come the fuck. And that's the other thing with Nas. I don't know what is Nas doing. Is Nas coming with some old trap? Is Migos gonna be on this album? You know?
I hope not. I doubt it. But
that's the hard part. I don't know. You know, what direction are you going? And if it's been done, how long has it been done? Because after a while, then it gets dated. If you're talking about, you know, somebody getting shot 2 years ago, it's now dated to do that. So, again, I understand the label politics, but Vang, what I want to ask you, you said something, you said them. So when you say Nas and them, are you meaning the label? Are you meaning, you know, his crew? Like, who are you talking about when you're like them?
Managers,
okay,
advisors, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, whoever his team is that they strategize for, like, when he drops. Because, you know, even though he doesn't make as much money as Jay-Z, he's right there with him in iconic status. So it's kind of like he can't just come out at this point. Even if the album's not that good, it has to feel like a big deal. You can't just drop that joint. Right. So they always looking for that right pocket to drop that joint. Because like, you know, a quick example, like when he was before Godson came out, I had a dude, like this is when I was still in Baltimore. I had this dude I knew who made, you know, he made some really dope beats, right? So I was like, yo, he kept telling me one time how he wanted to get his beats to Nas and shit like that. So, you know, I'm sitting there like, does this nigga know that that I could do that? So I wound up getting in touch with him and Nas's manager and all that and Wiz, and I got his beats to him. And I remember telling that dude at the time, because I listened to his beats before we sent them, and I was like, you know, these beats sound like Rockefeller. If you listen to, like, what was Stillmatic was before Godson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, you know, if you listen to where he's kind of been going, he's not really doing the flashier hip-hop beats. He's kind of digging, like, the Salaam Remi shit that I always talk about. Like, he's digging in that more old school sound. And that's the thing with them. They're real particular with what they want to do when he's dropping. So I feel like this is probably no different. They probably want to do a whole big to do, you know, it's Nas is coming and it's this and it's some fucking marketing campaign or whatever. So we'll see. But I don't think it's happening in 2018 anymore.
All right, so tell me this. Nas couldn't do the Kendrick and just drop. Like, you know what I mean? You don't think he could just do the, you know what, like how what happened with, like, with D'Angelo was like, yo, something got flashed on a Thursday and then like the following week it was there. You don't think he could do a Jay-Z, just, you know, or a J. Cole, because I guess I'm thinking, yo, you fucking Nas. J. Cole do it. That nigga ain't bigger than Nas. But do you think he can't do that? Like you said, it has to be a market and it has to be a Nas coming, because I seldomly see that with any artist anymore.
Yeah, I think they want to do like a Jay-Z, like what Jay-Z and what Eminem is doing. Like Eminem had fucking pharmacy ads that were like cryptic promotion for his new album. I think they want to do something like that where you know, people got to figure the shit out and be like, hold up, is the Nas album coming? And then it just comes. So I think it'll still drop that way. But also, he can't do that when Eminem is looming. It's like, you know, that shit got to come out now, or else it ain't really gonna make no sales, and not even the sales, like media wise. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Once Eminem shit drop, again, it could be hot, it could be whack, but it's gonna dominate the media.
Right.
And Nas is the type of dude who kind of deserves his own space to drop and have everybody go crazy, and then, as usual, forget about it a week later, because that's what the fuck y'all niggas do. Y'all new niggas. Let me rephrase that. Y'all new niggas. That's what y'all.
I concur with that. The only thing I'm just wondering is, I'm like, it would be dope if Nas had the balls to say, fuck it, I'm coming out with him. Fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean? I forgot who J. Cole did that with. I think J. Cole did that with Kanye. Like, all right, Kanye dropping, so the fuck what? I'm dropping too. Like, and I get it. It has to be strategic and everything, but it's almost like boxing now. Like, you ducking niggas. Like, yo, fuck it, I'm dropping. Like, fuck him, I'm nicer than him. Like, let me do my shit, and we'll see who fit. You know, that would be dope. but I understand, you know, strategies and all that shit has to come into play. But good one.
All the welterweights not willing to fight.
Yeah, so, you know, good pick. Nas was on my list. Yeah, who you got, man?
That was who was on my list because I ain't got too many. But and you said the 90s MCs that we like that's still relevant or
not relevant, but that they could still bring the heat. Like you hear this person is coming out and you like, boom, I gotta get that.
Okay. To be honest with you, I was gonna say I thought I was gonna say the Tribe album for real. For me, I was happy as hell when they were coming with it. I know it was what you said, 18 years, right?
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah, like 18 years, and I was hyped. And when I listened to it, I like it. So Tip still brought it, Phife still brought it. So that's what I was happy with. So I went there.
All right, and speaking of Q-Tip and this album, after his epic rant, what do y'all think about that? From the standpoint of, I felt like from the rant, and I don't know if cats watch Everyday Struggle with Joe Buttons and Academic, but they had Ashanti on the other day, and they were talking about the same thing, and Joe was like, you know, with the Grammys, you know, what deals got to be made, what backdoor, you know, whatever. And from watching that, it kind of seemed like what I heard in Tip's rant was, we perform for y'all. Like almost on some shit like that was the caveat of if y'all perform, then we'll get y'all nominated next year. And because I feel like at this point in time in Tip's career, I don't know if Tribe's ever been nominated for a Grammy. So why would you even be mad at this time unless it was something you were promised or unless it was something that kind of led you to believe that that would happen or whatever? Because most hip hop dudes really aren't pressed like, yo, you know, why ain't I on there or whatever like that. So what do y'all, so Jace, what did you think about that?
Man. So I'm of the belief that the art speaks for itself. And I don't know how y'all gonna feel about this, but if the fans like it, you know you put out dope art, who cares if a board and industry critically acclaimed or not? The history speaks for itself, right? Like Tip said in his rant, Jimmy never got one, right? There are a whole bunch. Marvin only got one, and Marvin is one of the most prolific artists of our era, of the era prior to us, right? Mm-hmm. Marvin, Jimmy, their legacy lives on. Q-Tip's Tribe's legacy is going to live on, right? Their music is going to transcend whatever the Grammys could give them. It'd be a nice accolade, it'd be a nice strike, but so.
Right. I feel you. What'd you think about it, Rat?
See, I didn't pick guys based off of those criterias. I picked guys who was just like, you know, sitting in fucking oblivion or guys that were shelled. I mean, the way you hit it is perfect because you got guys that have the possibility to be out, but bullshit. Veg said their own creative either vices or how they think some shit sounds. So my list is a little different. One of the people that was actually on my list.
We talking about the Tip rant. You talking about the Tip rant?
Yeah, you saw what I put. That's Jamal Davis. That ain't Q-Tip. That's Jamal fucking Davis. That's the Tip we've been looking for years. And I think he's right. I looked at the list after Veg, you know, text back or whatever. And I'm not a Tyler fan. I mean that it's not worthy because I ain't listened to it. Or what that album was.
You ain't listen to the Tribe album?
No, Tyler the Creator.
Oh,
Tyler the Creator. So for what that album was, you figure 20 years, no album was put out by Tribe, right? And if De La can get a Grammy nod off of some bullshit, Tribe deserves a Grammy. Fuck the nod. They deserve the Grammy because that was Grammy worthy. I mean, you open it up for the Saturday Night Live show, you doing this, you doing that, you getting all these critical accolades, and then to not even get, you know, noticed by, you know, your quote unquote peers. I mean, that shit was bullshit. They deserve to be nominated.
All right.
And I'm gonna go on a real limb I think they deserve to be nominated over Rhapsody's album. It was a good album, but it wasn't a Grammy-worthy album.
See, now here's the thing. I don't fuck with the Grammys. I can care less. I don't even know who the fuck did get nominated.
Me neither,
but
for what
Rhapsody got nominated. Yeah, now we on now you get another rant out of me, but neither here nor there. I don't.
But you see what I'm saying. If Rhapsody can get nominated off of that, which is a good album, it's not what Tribe just put out. Based off of everything that just happened, you think the fight just passed away. The album is solid. He has a valid point. Now they blood, sweat, and tears for 20 plus years, not one Grammy nod, and then they give probably their magnum opus, and you don't get a Grammy nod. No.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
Well, I don't think this was the magnum opus. This was a good culmination of a career, but it wasn't a magnum opus. So I gotta give Low End Theory or Midnight Marauders the nod over this one. But that's just mine.
Okay.
Right. And I agree. But here's the thing. Ninth, Tip was going off on ninth. So is ninth on the Grammy board or whatever? And if he is, now I'm looking sideways because now you're saying Rhapsody made it. But that's a whole nother rant. JR, what you?
Chief for Layla's wisdom.
Oh, I agree. I agree with Rack. I think at the end of the day, I think Tip was absolutely right for his rant. At the end of the day, we politic for y'all to get this. Yep. Basically, y'all promised me a nomination and I ain't get jack. So I have the right to be pissed. But on the other hand, he knows how the Grammys and all them get down. And like I said in the beginning, he said it on Check the Rhyme. It's shady.
But here's the thing. I don't know if you know in 91 how the Grammys are won. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is there's a certain level of being naive. When I first started radio, I thought people played records on the radio because they liked the song. It wasn't until I did radio that I stopped being naive and learned about payola and people paying.
Right.
So I'm sure maybe in 92 it was about, oh man, we got this dope album, we gonna make it. So I understand if somebody promised Tip like, yo, if you come out here, you perform with Anderson .Paak, you do this, right. Boom, you got the nod next year, then boom, yeah. If somebody, reneged on something, then that's fucked up.
So here's the real question then. Here's the real question. Are you mad because you shucked and jived and didn't get the nod, or are you mad because you didn't get the nod?
It's probably a little bit of both.
That's what I said. I think it's a little bit of both.
It's a solid album, and we shucked and jived.
Right.
So we should have got it. Vague, what you think?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think the whole thing is politics because, for one, you got Ninth, who is a professor at Harvard or something like that, doing hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I know he got like a class down at Duke or something too.
Yeah. So
he's a professor at Harvard and he does a class at Duke.
Okay, yeah. So he got that, and he got he got the Rock Nation also. Then you have Q-Tip, who's the musical director of the Kennedy Center or something like that.
Yep.
So then you have his politics that he was probably working behind the scenes. The dope part is all good music, but I think it's a little bit of it's politics too. It's mainly politics. I think that was the anger that was coming from Q-Tip more than anything. I think he felt like they got overlooked for someone else's politics, which is the Rhapsody thing. And I don't take anything away from Rhapsody. I've been one of her biggest supporters. I think she's dope. I like the album a lot. She didn't deserve to be nominated for Rap Album of the Year, but I think she is benefiting from the Chance the Rapper award. I think
somebody said that.
Yeah, I think that if she wins, I'll put it this way: if she wins, that's exactly what it is. It's
wow.
We're not trying to.
What's the Chance the Rapper award?
I felt like Chance winning that award. The album was dope. It was good, but I felt like Chance winning that award was the way of the Grammys doing a little bit of damage control for how they've been recognized over the years by hip hop. Hip hop is the #1 streaming music, even with mumble rap and all of that.
Right.
They can't afford to have their credibility in the toilet. So over the years, what they've done is they put in credible artists. Because Life is Good was nominated. Remember that? Like that was like since when we saw Nas nominated for a fucking Grammy.
Right.
But I think they were trying to put in some goodwill and shit like that. But with Chance, that was another way to say, like, look, the little guy, he no label and all of this and that, he came up. But now you can't stop seeing the nigga, you know, just fucking Cheerios commercials and everything. And I feel like with Rhapsody, once she got on that Kendrick album, and it's no fault of hers, she doing what she does without compromising. But I think once she got on that Kendrick album and more people knew her, and Jay-Z always liked her, but that gave him the, you know, the go ahead to get her signed. And it's like, now she nominated for a Grammy? Like, and this isn't even the hottest shit she ever put out.
That bugged me out because I ain't know she was nominated for Grammy. But
yeah, she's on there.
So, Vay, who's one of your people from the 90s who can still bring it, you think?
Pharoah Monch.
Nice shit, man.
Pharoah Monch, kind of like, his last album came out in 2014, the PTSD joint. So, like, I've been waiting since then. That dude is a dude who I feel like back with Organized Confusion, you know, I always thought he was nice, but he got better over time. Like, he's just pure talent, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like Mos Def in a lot of respects, where these dudes just go in the studio and they just do what they want, and you could tell it's a lot of thought put into it, and it's hard, even when you look at him sometimes, like, yeah, he got some great, but he just comes across as a dude who's not aging at all in this rap game. And like when he released those albums back to back, the We Are Renegades joint, and then the PTSD, that to me, like when I heard those joints, I was like, damn, this dude, you know, unfortunately it was horribly slept on by a lot of people. I'm like, man, this dude can still do it, you know what I'm saying, on a high level, but only, you know, people who really love hip hop recognize it. But yeah, man, Pharoah Monch, man, that dude's just getting better over time. You know, I don't know if he's gonna come out with another album. I think he should. And he got a Grammy. But it wasn't for a song though. One of his songs, it was for him being featured on the Robert Glasper, Miles Davis soundtrack. But yeah, who knows? Maybe Pharoah will drop an album and he'll be in the Grammys next year. So who knows?
Yeah, to me, Pharoah is definitely was on mine. You know, for cats who don't know, came out with Organized back in '91 with their first album, and dropped PTSD in 2014. To me, I always call him the hip hop Sade because they drop like every 5-6 years. You know what I mean? And I guess it makes me think about, Jace, what we were talking about earlier with Nas, like what takes you so long. And I know, like I said then, that every creative person is different. I almost feel like with Nas, and again, this is just an assumption because I don't know, nigga, but I just felt like if you usually come out every 2 to 3 years, if that, like, I don't know what the normal time space is between a Nas album. Like, that's just Pharoah's steez. Kind of like with Sade. That's just her steez. Like, you ain't getting no Sade album. You get one every 10 years. You know, to me, that's his steez. So with Nas's steez, I never saw his steez being, oh, Nas takes 5 years to create, you know, whatever like that. But I think Pharoah is dope. So again, two of mine were both Pharoah and Nas. The one person, again, Talib Kweli, I'll shout him out because he's the person who made me even come up with this in the first place. The other person that I had actually has passed away, and that's Sean P. You know, I felt like Sean P was one of the few people from the 90s that got extremely dope. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I always felt like I always compare him to Ghostface with the Wu. You know, if I would have told you in 1994 when Smith & Wesson dropped The Shining and Helter Skelter was with them, that I'm going to tell you this dude, Sean Price, first of all, nobody knew who the fuck Sean Price was. You know, be like that nigga in Helter Skelter without the scar. You would have had to explain the nigga 5 different ways. You would have been like, the other nigga in Helter Skelter. Nah, not the one with the scar. The other nigga with the dress. You know, so for him to continue to get nicer, and then basically take on the persona of the brokest rapper alive, you know, kind of like put him down as a normal human being. And then when you would start to see him on YouTube just sitting in his apartment, like just being a regular nigga, and then I felt like he had his own style after a while. Like this dude just totally reinvented himself and was dope. So whenever I would hear about a new Sean P album coming, I was always hyped for it because I knew the production was gonna be boom bap. I knew what I was getting with Sean P. Like how I'm like, is Nas gonna be with the me? I never had to worry about was Sean P gonna be doing a song with Migos or was Future gonna be on the Sean P album. I knew what I was getting, and even the Imperious Rex joint that dropped this year, you know, was incredibly dope. So Sean P was always one of the cats from the '90s who I look forward to. Greg, who's one of your people?
I'm gonna throw one out there, man. Bumpy Knuckles, man. This cat, I don't know if y'all follow him on Instagram, but every day this dude is dropping some heat. It ain't no heat like but they bangers. And you know, he'll throw an album out maybe once every 5-6 years, do something with Primo or something like that. But like I'm really excited to see what he got left in the tank, you know, and he's a hip hop elder statesman. I know he's pushing 50 something. He's gotta be. But he still brings it every time he comes with his projects, man. So I'm excited to see what he has. Just off the beats that I'm hearing and just the stuff that, you know, the little smoke coming around. I'm excited to see if he's gonna drop something, man. He hasn't dropped anything in a while. Excited to see if he drops something, man. I don't know if cats follow him like that, but Pop Dukes, he got bars, man. And he'll fuck you up too. Don't get it twisted.
All right, I like Big Sugar. Big Sugar's cool.
No, but I didn't say Big Sugar.
Oh, Bumpy Knuckles. Bumpy Knuckles, Freddie Fox.
Knuckles, man. Yeah, Freddie Fox, man.
I get both them niggas fuck up because both of them to me are subpar MCs, and both of them will fuck you up. So that's why I always got them.
That's true.
All right, but I do like Bumpy Knuckles more than Big Sugar. I gotta check him out here with.
Yeah, definitely.
Check him out.
He's not gonna kill you over the head with lyrics, but like when he does projects with the right producers, they sound good, man. Solid projects.
All right, yeah, definitely. Bumpy Knuckles. I was thinking Big Sugar. My bad.
No.
Yeah, I'll tell you the funniest thing, man. I'm at a show. MOP, Joe Button, Bumpy Knuckles, and Terminology. This nigga Bumpy Knuckles comes out and starts fucking singing. Like, he just fucking singing.
Hold on. Bumpy Knuckles or Big Suge? Because Big Suge sings.
Big Suge, shit. I keep getting them two motherfuckers mixed up.
Big Suge sings. He sung on Let the Music Play. Sounding like he had fucking frogs in his throat.
Yeah, he should not sing too. But no disrespect to Big Suge and the Gangstar Foundation. Jace, you got
what's up?
You got another dude for us?
Yeah, Reggie Noble, man, Redman. If he's spitting, I'm copping.
Dang. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And see, I didn't put him on my list because he's still, to me, he's still relevant, man. He's still doing projects. He's still touring.
Does not disappoint, yo. The only disappointment I've ever had with him, yo, is production. Lyrically, and that's not that's not all the time. Every now and then there'll be a couple of joints that I feel like space fillers, but even on those space fillers, he still lyrically brings the heat.
All right.
Now, are you talking later in his career or throughout?
Yeah, I'm talking like after 2000. Early on, all of them was like Doc's the Name 2001. Past that,
right.
But 90s, no.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't understand why that is because he's not a bad producer.
I think that is just the flip side of Sean Price. So that's the price you pay when you're on a major versus being independent. You have a little more creative control, in my personal opinion.
All right, so there's new. What is it? Muddy Waters 2, or what's the name of this new album he's working on?
That's it. It's Muddy Waters 2, I think.
Now, we all know my philosophy. He's fucking naming your best last album part 2. Sure. You know, all the fans back in because you've been dropping whack shit for a while. I'm just saying that's what always happens. It's like Raekwon drops a whole bunch of duds and it's like only go for Cuban Links 2. You know, and it's like AZ drops a bunch of duds and it's like, yo, do a die part 2. You know, yeah, I think Ghost. Out, right? I don't think so. And now I know Ghost is doing Supreme Clientele part 2. So that always happens after niggas drop a whole bunch of duds like John Starks in the fourth quarter again. They want to hit you in the head like, yo, I'm back. Like Nas basically did it with Stillmatic. Instead of it just being Omatic 2, it was Stillmatic. And it's like, it's that Jay-Z prayer of he's going back to Reasonable Doubt. Like, and you trying to rename your album, what most people say is your best album to me is just a trick. But I mean, Ray did it. Ray only Built for Cuban Links 2 was dope. You know, I felt like it had too many songs on it. But like when you start getting to 25, I'm like, all right, my nigga, calm down. Like if he would have nipped that at like 16, that may have been a 5 mic album. But you know, just me. JR, you got anybody else?
Y'all said all mine because I was gonna say Sean Price.
All right.
I was gonna say Nas, and I was gonna say Redman. But
I feel you. Ain't a lot. So, Veg, what about you?
I got Common. Common is another dude who, you know, like originally I told y'all before, you know, like that first album, Can I Borrow a Dollar?
Yeah.
You know, I liked the singles, but I wasn't really a big fan. And that dude just kind of improved throughout time. And then, you know, he had his little slip up, but then, you know, when he came back, you know, he came back with a vengeance. And even like his last 2 albums, I liked a lot, even though, you know, a lot of people didn't like, I guess the one that had a lot to do with Chicago, because he collaborated with mostly people from Chicago. Mm-hmm. I thought it was dope, especially the song he did about Dilla. That shit was hot. Because usually, you know, when you hear dedication songs, they're usually typically the same in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we miss you, my nigga. You gone, nigga. We pouring shit up. Like, nigga, he just said that about his mans. Now you saying the same exact shit, it kind of takes away. But he told stories, like personal stories that, you know, none of us would know about him living with Dilla for a minute and what it was like and all that shit. I felt like that was interesting, you know what I'm saying? Only because it was a different take on that style of, you know, dedication record or whatever. I think it was over a Dilla beat. And I like the last album a lot. You know, I like a lot of conscious hip hop. And he went heavy with the conscious hip hop about black people and, you know, black is beautiful. That's just that whole tone. That was the whole thing. But Common he just not whack. You know what I'm saying? It's only when he chooses to try to be overly creative and do something different, that's when he kind of slips up. But besides that, you know, when he's ready to spit, you know, people be on him, you know what I'm saying? And then when he's ready to do some really good records, you know what I'm saying, that you can sink your teeth into, he could still do that. And this dude been out since the early 90s, you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people forget that. Like you be saying, Kill, how like kids only know one Ice Cube. Probably right. The same shit with Common. You know what I'm saying? They probably only know one Common. They don't know this nigga was like back in the early 90s and shit. With the starter jackets and all of that. So yeah, on
the video Shoot for Success.
Yeah, right.
All right, cool. Anybody got anybody left? Because my list is based. I got one more person left. I gotta say, and it's like an in the middle joint. It's Jadakiss because
I was gonna put that, but
Jada is always ill. I've never looked forward to a Jadakiss project.
Before you go too deep, Kill, because that's the perfect segue.
Right.
Black Star and my man Black Thought by himself. I'm waiting for a solo album.
For
Black Thought.
Oh, Black Thought. Black Star solo album. All right. No doubt. My only fear of that is he got to talk about some shit. But not dead ass. He doesn't. That's facts. That if it ain't telling you a story about a story, I mean these are facts. These are facts. Like
it's facts. It's
like
facts.
Silent Treatment, The Hypnotic. You got me. Like we get it, motherfucker. We get it. You like women. Like it's cool. I was so happy when he did Water, telling the story about Malik B, because I was like, a story about something that's not a fucking woman. Like, thank you, man. But now I feel it. I'd always be interested in this one. Solo album. Always just iffy about the production. Like, I think we talked about this. I said I want a Thought solo album, but I want fucking Quest banned from the fucking States. Like, I don't want him in the United States of America. Like, send his ass to London, let him do some London sessions. Heat, Quest, I don't want nobody who knows how to play an instrument in that motherfucking studio session. If you know how to read music, get the fuck out. I want a record and drum machine. That's all I want. I don't want nobody. If you could know what that note is, that's the drum clef, get the fuck out. Like, I don't want you to know nothing. I want it to be beats, weed, and that's it. I don't want art with no motherfucking no outfits on. I don't want no motherfucking. Don't even get me started. All right. Yeah, Brad, you finish with your people who you got left. Me and Jace done went through this with Thought.
Yeah, we had this on the last podcast.
There's a couple asterisks next to Thought for me to want to Thought out. So
yeah, I put a group in mind, man, that I'm hoping that all of this, pop comes and creates an album, man. I want to see a Capone and Noriega album, but with the right production. I don't want to see one with just some bullshit. Like I'm interested to see what that's gonna sound like. And then the last one that I would hope can capitalize on, something that's going on is My Son, man. I don't think he ever got the chance to, based off the fact that he went to jail, man. I'm interested to see what he could do.
And do
with a second chance.
Around in the 90s?
Yeah, man. He got locked up, came out, he was dropping freestyles after freestyles, he was killing, and then the next thing you know, nigga was up for like is on robbery, attempt murder. He caught all kind of charges on that shit, and he just got out not too long ago, man.
And he didn't
probably about what 5 years ago now, Veg?
Yeah, he didn't even do that shit. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
He
so
just did rat on,
Yeah, he just did. He just stood tall. But I'm interested to see if, with all of this stuff going on between the debate, who had the hotter verse between him and M, and all that little bullshit. I'm interested to see if somebody's gonna take a shot on this dude, man, because he was on Violator.
Wait, who had the hottest verse? Him and M on what?
You remember when the whole shit out with motherfuckers kneeling for the flag, and M dropped his little spoken word verse, and My Son had the same shit, cipher, but nobody talked about it. And Eminem got more shine, I think, based off the fact that he's M and the fact that it was a white person going to bat for niggas. Just don't think My Son. I don't think people listened to what he said. I think people were so caught up in the fact that M said something that was like, oh shit, we gotta listen to see what this guy says. But My Son said some shit too. I just think that I don't think we got to hear anything worthy. Bunch of freestyles, man.
Right. All right, no doubt. And like, oh my bad, you got some more, man?
Yeah, I try to have enough, so just in case they get mentioned, you know what I'm saying. But I just run through them real quick. It's only 4. One is Scarface. I always check for a new Scarface album whenever he drops it, and that dude just doesn't age. He doesn't age at all. I always check for Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Whether I like the album or not, I always check, just to see what it is, because the dude got a track record of dope albums. I never know when, it's going to be something I really like or whatever. I'm not anticipating classics and stuff like that. And I didn't mind the last one, 444.
Hold tight real quick. But does Jay get you excited? If word gets to hear that Jay got a new album out, are you hyped like that? I can't wait. To see, Beck, I know I gotta say this with you, because Beck, you listen to everything. If y'all follow Beck on Instagram, he be in the gym, I'll be like, damn, this nigga listens to everything. So I know you'll listen to a new Jay, but are you hyped for a new Jay?
I own every Jay-Z album. I'm a fan. The whack ones included. If he's coming out with a new album, I'm curious.
All right.
I don't never feel burned by a whack album, because there's legends for whack albums. You know what I'm saying? Like Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson and Prince, and I love them dudes. So like, I feel like Jay-Z is giving me enough goodwill as a hip hop, fan to say I could at least check it out. And the majority of the time, I at least like most of it. I think Kingdom Come was probably the one where I was like, man, I don't like this shit. You know what I'm saying? At all. But what do you come with after that? American Gangster. So
Right. All right.
Yeah.
I got one caveat when you're done, babe.
And the last two, it's not like a group, but when they drop solo albums, I always, try to check them out. And especially one is Ghostface, and the other one is Raekwon. I think Raekwon really only had one whack album. I think he's had a couple of okay albums. I think his second album was his whack joint. What was after that? The Lex Diamond joint. That was kind of his comeback on the low. A lot of people slept on that album. That album was hot. And production-wise,
I'm still asleep.
That shit had songs like The Watch on it with Ghostface. It had some joints on there. But look at the album it was following. You know what I'm saying? Niggas know the party was over. And at the time in which he dropped albums at that point, that album might have came out like almost 5 or 6 years after that. What was it? Mobilarity?
Mobilarity.
Yeah, that was Mobilarity.
Yeah, so, because initially, I didn't even hear that Lex Diamond album. I was like, wow, this shit.
Hold up, though. There was another joint in there, though.
What?
For Ray?
Yeah.
For Ray?
Yeah, what was the one with
the
Bulletproof Wallets?
Nah, that's
Bulletproof Wallets. That's Ghost. That's Ghost.
What was the joint he had on there with Carl Thomas?
That's Ghost.
Ray didn't have nothing with Carl Thomas. I don't think.
Ghost.
That's all Ghost.
No, that's Ghost. That's Ghost.
Sorry.
But yeah, he had that. Then he had the Cuban Links 2, the Shaolin album. That joint was hot.
Yeah, that was dope.
The one that was like, it's okay, was the Fly International, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Oh, the Fly joint.
Yeah, that was okay. And then he put out a dope album this year that nobody fucking listens to.
I love it.
Yeah, the Wild is fucking retarded.
That album,
I love that album.
That album was hot. Beats, rhymes, and all of that, but
Yo, you know the hard part is, man, I listened to that album and it was good, but I don't know. Just a lot of hip hop nowadays don't have replay value.
You know why? Because it's so convoluted. There's so much out there. Well,
but here's the thing: if something is dope enough, I'm gonna find my way back to it. Like for instance, I'm still banging this motherfucking Conway Rejects too.
You've been banging Conway for a month.
Not gonna be a fucking week that I don't listen to that album. Even though there's a million other things.
It took you forever to figure them out, though. It took you forever to find out about Westside and Conway.
But the second I did, that's because everybody's always like, yo, these dudes is dope. These dudes are dope. And 90% of the time, they're not. So that's what took me so long to listen to them. But when I finally heard them, for me, it's not about because there's a lot of music. It's because everything is just good. I was raised in a 4.5, 5 mic hip hop world. You know what I mean? Where nowadays, to me, everything is just 3 mics. Rhapsody's album is dope. Will I ever fucking listen to it again? Probably not. You know what I mean? So I can't give you 4 mics because a 4.5 mic album, that's some shit I'm gonna want to come back to from time to time. Like, I am fucking rapping Conway all day. Don't even get me started on no Westside. SummerSlam.
I feel the complete opposite about them things.
Oh, you don't like them?
I don't dislike.
Nah, he don't like them.
Dislike them. But I'm not excited.
Oh, all right. To me, and keep in mind, it's only for me that Conway album because they have so much music. My man hit me with every mixtape, and every mixtape ain't perfect. I'm not saying that.
So have you listened to all of it?
Have I listened to all the mixtapes? I've thumbed my way through because there's so many. But
I think that's my problem.
And
I was on Conway before he was in it, and because I think I was still involved with Strictly Hip Hop back then, so we was playing all them freestyles and it was the truth. It was kind of like once he got his situation, he kind of fell by the wayside, but then he came out again. He was still kind of dope, but then people kind of forgot about him, and then he reemerged once Eminem signed. And I listen to things, and don't get me wrong, they're not whack by a long stretch. There's a lot of whack movies. But I think you said it best one time when you was like, some shit just sound like boom, boom, boom. You know how many niggas I know that just kill people? Like, I can't listen. Sometimes I might have to come back to that in a different space and listen.
Right.
Because after a while, it's just like, all right, you killed them niggas. Right, you getting money. Right, like, come on, nigga. Goddamn. Like,
and then,
yeah, I feel you. But it's just for me, it's that one album to me that I can come back to. So bringing that all back to me, Jace, it's not because there's so much music. It's because the music for me is kind of like, it's just good. Everything across the table is good. There's not a lot of whack. Like in our day, there was really dope stuff, and then there was really whack stuff. It was MC Hammer, Young MC, and these whack rappers. You had your middle ground rappers like the K9 Posse and Redheaded Kingpin, and then you had everybody else, your PEs, your De La's, your Tribes, and all of them. Whereas I feel like right now, we kind of got a whole bunch of the middle ground K9 Posse, Redheaded Kingpin type MCs. Because like I said, the Rhapsody album is dope, but I ain't gonna listen.
I got a theory behind that. We can discuss this offline. I don't want to eat up time, but I have a theory I've been thinking about based on that all day today.
About Rhapsody?
No, about what you just said about music.
Hey, do tell. I'm open. What's good?
Oh, a lot of people that are making music right now, in my opinion, that are really hot, came out when? They're like in their 20s. What was happening like right now 20 years ago? What era were we in hip hop? We were establishing the difference between the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots, the haves were winning because they were in the limelight. So a lot of music was geared towards what? Right. Towards the club. Everybody was trying to get the pay and get the play in that era, right? Most of that music is based on Friday or Saturday nights, right? There's 5 other days in the week, yo.
Okay.
And trying to find the balance between making that music for Friday and Saturday, in addition to making music from Sunday to Thursday. You know what I'm saying? And putting a piece of work together to balance all of that and still remain true to yourself.
But you know what though? I think there is balance. I think we just want the good stuff to be in the same position as the mumble rap, but who the fuck cares about radio spins?
But true indeed. There was an era where we came up in that a lot of shit we listened to was not played on the radio, right?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like when you look at Talib and Saha the Prince album, like, those are the albums we want.
Right.
And we got them.
Exactly.
So we shouldn't really give a shit about what's dominating our culture.
But another thing too, though, is that we've been spoiled in the fact that a lot of shit, like Kill already said, a lot of the stuff that was coming out that was like that, it kept coming, right? Like we're not getting that consistently, and like stuff was all the way to the left or all the way to the right, and where stuff is kind of like left center, right center. It's not the same in that aspect, but we could be jaded too because of the era we came up in.
But see, that's the hard part. I don't think I'm jaded because it's almost like y'all love boxing. Y'all can tell if is boxing as exciting now as it was in the 90s with Tyson and them.
No.
Okay, so it's almost the same thing to me like with hip hop, where it's like I don't know if we're jaded, but we just know what the fuck good music sounds like. You know, and more important, what great music sounds like. You know, because I feel like nowadays people are always like, "Oh, Kill, you don't like Rhapsody?" I've never said Rhapsody was whack. She's
again though, Kill. We came in an era where all this shit was brand new. The kids that are here now don't have the foundation that we have.
But here's the crazy part: even if it wasn't brand new. Because R&B and soul music wasn't brand new in the 90s, right? You know, we had the Temptations, we had all that shit. JR could sit here and tell us for days, all the music from the 50s and the 60s and 70s. It wasn't brand new, but don't get it fucked up. The 90s had some great R&B music. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to us, but my parents wouldn't have necessarily agreed with that.
Right.
But, I mean, I think where you're coming from, but it's just like the R&B music was, I don't think we had this great music just because hip hop was new. And it really wasn't new, because if we're going back to Herc and them, you know, that's 78. So by the time 98, I don't know if 20 years is still necessarily new. I mean, if we want to say in terms of a whole genre, then I guess it's new. I just think is that niggas came with dope. When you come with dope shit, you know dope shit, you miss dope shit. So it's only going to be so much time when you don't want to go back to a dope shit album and be like, yo, I want to hear that again. You know what I mean? Regardless of how many mixtapes came out this month, I'm going back to Rejects 2. Right. I'm going back. Right. To me, it's a great album. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the thing. I mean, Wreck and Jace, y'all the Rhapsody dudes. Are y'all really gonna be going back to this Rhapsody 2 years from now?
No, I'm not. I'm already waiting for something else to come out.
I don't know, but and see, and that's another problem too, yo. There's a lot of dope albums that come out, and it doesn't get the space. It doesn't necessarily get the space. I'm not speaking on raps. I'm talking about music in general. There's certain dope albums that come out that don't get the space that they're entitled to for us to digest it because there's something else coming out.
Yeah. Well, no such thing as digestion. There's
ones that come out today in blue and white. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I got the retro all coming out next. Get your dough right.
But it's microwave mentality.
Right.
I mean, technology has killed that whole process. They expect for you now, once your album dropped, that you should have 25 more joints locked and loaded. You know, it's just you don't get the chance to let that shit sit to where you can digest it. You just don't get that chance because it's 1,000 other motherfucking little fucking pistol, whoever the fuck, coming with the same bullshit.
And I feel you
don't get the chance to digest it.
I had to literally be like, you know what? I can't keep up with the Joneses if I want to enjoy music. Right. To me, that's the decision that we have to make as individuals. So I had
culture, as a society, as a culture.
No, I mean, as a society, but for me, I had to say, you know what? I'm not gonna, because I always wanted to be in the conversations. I always wanted to be on Twitter and be able to fuck all that. I want to be able to sit back. So if I don't hear the Sci-Hi album for another 2 months because I'm enjoying this Talib and I'm enjoying this Conway, so be it. So be it. I don't, you know, if that means I'm not into the conversations or I can't speak on it, fuck it. But because I do agree with you because it's hard to digest it, but I still do think that if something stands out to you, that you will come back to it. Or maybe that's just me. I will come back to it, even if it's dope enough. If it speaks to me and there's something about, like, again, I can talk about this Conway joint all day. I'm memorizing rhymes. I can't tell you the last time I can sit here and memorize rhymes. Man, yo, I let off the K all day. I'm shooting like Clay all day. I mean, I can sit here and quote you because that's how much I'm in. I haven't had that feeling for a minute. You know what I mean? So
you just said something right there, Kill.
What's that?
Music is supposed to give you a feeling, but it takes time for you to get that feeling. Unless it hits you right away, sometimes it can take a minute. And when it gives you that feeling, you don't want to let it go.
I don't know, man. That Conway hit me from the motherfucking door. When that motherfucker said, "Look at me, I'm the captain," I was like, "Okay, my nigga, you are the captain. Let's go, my nigga. Like, let's keep going." That whole first Twitter account, I fucking had hip hop quotables every day from Conway from off that album. That ain't have to marinate. That ain't have to do nothing. I was good. I was good to go. But Vay, I'm gonna get with you, JR. What do you think about that philosophy, especially with R&B music now?
I'm with you, Kill, because I'm still listening to PJ Morton.
Right.
Still bumping that. Like, I'm still bumping that. And it's like, but Jace is right. It's like PJ Morton came out this day, but then Lettucey came out like 2 weeks later. So it's like, you can't really, really like stay on something. But I'm like you. I'm like, screw that. I'm going to stay on the album. I love it. I'll go to the next one later. You know what I'm saying? And especially with, how they diss in R&B anyway. But
JR, real quick, if I can interject real quick, JR, here's the crazy part. There was one album I can't even remember right now. I was sitting on the R&B side for a minute, and I totally missed who had the dope album last year.
R&B wise,
huh?
R&B wise,
kind of R&B hip hop lane, yeah. Y'all were talking about him heavy. Yeah,
it was PJ Morton for me and JR for a minute.
There was another joint besides PJ Morton.
Come on, JR.
Yeah.
Is it male or female?
It It was a male. Here's the crazy part is I missed it, and I'm listening to it now. I can't even remember the name.
But here's the wild part. Then you didn't miss it. To me, it's almost like hibernation. Like it's almost like a fucking squirrel fucking collecting all his acorns for the winter. Like for instance, I still haven't listened to the documentary Part 2, Disc 2, because I said I love this one so much. I'm gonna just hold on to Disc 2. So when I get into that little rut where there ain't no good hip hop, then I'll bring it back out. So you really didn't miss it.
I missed it. I don't remember his name. I'm getting old, but the album is dope.
BJ the Chicago Kid.
What do you think?
Is it BJ the Chicago Kid?
Hey, what do you think?
You heard what JR said?
Now, what do you think, JR?
You talking about BJ the Chicago Kid?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that album is dope. That album is dope. Yes.
And I'm late on that. I'm late on that because I was walking. But BJ the Chicago Kid is dope.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But I had to come back to it, and I almost forgot to come back to it because so much other shit out there.
But then throw that shit in your phone. But it's okay to come back to it. Like
that's my point, though. I might not come back to it because I might get caught up in other stuff as it comes out.
But that's why I'm saying, I know for me as an individual, and again, it's like having those people to lean on. Like I know JR is gonna let me know what's sitting over here. I know Vega's gonna keep me good in the hip hop lane. And like, for me, it's like if it's dope enough, it'll get to me. Everybody like, oh, Kill, man, you 2 years later on West Side Gun and Conway. So the fuck what? I like them now. I'm good. And guess what? I got 1,500 mixtapes to live with because I never heard them shit before. You know what I mean? So I don't even feel late to the party. Like I'm on Instagram, like check out my West Side Gun and Conway mix. Niggas like, oh, you old. I'm like, oh, the fuck? I'm loving it now. Like I'm good. I'm eating right now. While everybody else starving, like there ain't no good music. I'm good money over here because I got 15. I got Hitler on Reject on steroids. 1 through 8 to listen to. Another thing, what's up with this dude in hip? That's a whole nother story. I don't know, but neither here nor there. Veg, what do you think about West Side Gun is big on hip? I don't know what the fuck, why or whatever. But Vegas, what do you think about this whole thing?
Well, I think the whole microwave part is I think for us, it's exactly what you're saying, Kill. We're more like the on-demand people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what you're doing. You taking half an album, love it, and put the rest of the DVR for later. I do that shit all day, like on Netflix, my DVR upstairs. There's mad shit waiting for me for when I want to watch it. I think one dimensional part and the whole microwave part is what's making it complicated to be like what we were used to growing up. Because for one, you got all this music available, this drive and everything. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of cases, some of the shit is hot. I was the reverse with Side and Talib. I listened to the Side first because I was highly anticipating this dude's debut album. I was all on his mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? I knew that dude I was like championing his music. I knew that dude was nice. So I'm like, finally, debut album. And I listened to that first, and I loved it. But then when I went to listen to Talib, I felt like, it's good, but it's, I've listened to every Talib album that come out, it's kind of the same thing. But what it did was, I didn't listen to those two at that same time. I needed that space. And once I got my fill of Side, I went back into the Talib, but I'm like, it's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is one of his better albums. Because the production is really good. And he made good work. I felt like everything worked as far as lyrics, delivery, concepts, collaborators, everything worked. But he has a problem saying that with that space. And like when you see him post and listen to everything, those are criticisms. I got my heavy rotation there, and it's typically the same shit I listen to all year, like Kendrick, like Joey Badass, and shit like that. But I just try to at least, put the sake of my podcast.
And again, it wasn't nothing against you. I'm just saying, I know you listen to everything. Listen to everything.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm just saying, that part is kind of like work, research almost. But at the same time, I get hit sometimes where I'm like, damn, I like everything. I can't listen to all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's one thing to listen and sample music and say, okay, or something. It's another thing. I'm like, damn, heavy rotation, but what am I not listening to that? Some like the rock album. I love that shit when I first heard it. But so much shit came out. It's like man, that shit was in heavy rotation. Now I'm trying to absorb Ty and Talib and fucking Eminem supposed to come out, and I'm a fan of his, so it's kind of like what you said, they don't really get that stage to absorb favorite artists, new artists, high album of the week that, like you said, Gil, you want to be a part of the conversation, but there's so much other shit going on, and you just gotta freeze everything else. Just say, let me enjoy this. Like I'm enjoying Conway and Westside Gun. I'll get to whatever the hype is later. So I feel like it's the availability of music and how much it keeps coming that's really kind of destroying, what we used to when we could sit without.
And I think that's what I'm saying. Like you said, it's something that we have to choose to do. Like, for instance, I haven't written a lot of album reviews for the past 6 months, just off the simple fact that by the time I listen to the album, it's too late to put out the album. Like when I was writing for sessions, it's like, okay, if Talib dropped Friday, I need to have a review up by Wednesday at the latest. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get it in that week window, ain't nobody gonna care a month later or 2 months later. So that's why I kind of stopped writing record reviews, because like you said, it was like work. It was like, okay, I gotta listen to the Sci-Hi album, give it these spins so I can pump out this review, in the 48 hours that we got. Niggas know, album come out Friday, niggas got record reviews up Saturday. So I'm already behind the 8 ball trying to take 3 or 4 days to put up the review. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to fall back out that record review game. Unless it's something that really speaks to me. Like when JR hit me with the PJ Morton, I listened to it. I was so in love with the album, I was able to just write the review right there. It was like, I don't need a week to live with this album to feel how great it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the Talib, I heard that on Friday. I was like, yo, this album is really fucking good. I'm in New York over the Thanksgiving break. I'm like, let me pump out a review for this. Like, and that's what I mean for me. When music speaks to me, I don't need a week to marinate with it. Y'all saw the tweets. Nick was like, yo, what's up with the Fab joint? We about to get into that. And I'm like, my nigga, this shit came out 12 hours ago. Like, why are you tweeting about, like, I don't know. He's like, with the Cuban thing, take 12 months, the Nomadic take this. And I'm like, my nigga, those are like anomaly albums. You're comparing a Fab Jadakiss mixtape to 2 of the greatest albums ever. Like, I can't put up a conversation. And then the funny thing is, the stuff I told him, like, it was okay. A week later, I feel totally different about it. So, you know what it is. But
one last point on that. One thing that I think is also is before we anticipated out, not only was it like one that was highly anticipated that we paid for, we had to wait the next day, which was Tuesday, for the store owner to go and buy it and then listen to it if we were able to do that.
Right.
So it was usually like not everybody got the album anyway. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody got the chance to listen to it, so everything was about time. But now, maybe everybody's on social media waiting. Some niggas not even listening. They just ready to tweet about, like, yo, shit is classic, man. Like, they got classic revenue in their fucking tweets. Like, shit is classic.
Yo, I'll tell you the first thing.
And not only that, not everybody had money to go get the albums.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then a lot of times there were instances where you had to make a decision if I'm gonna get this album, or if I'm gonna get this album.
Yeah, I mean, true story. Like I always say, with Jungle Brothers and EPMD first album, me and my man Cross, we was downtown. It was like, my nigga, I only got enough for one. You got enough for one. All right, well, boom. You buy one, I buy one, and we'll switch off next week. And then when next week came, neither one of us wanted to give them shits up. It's like, nah, I'm loving this Jungle Brothers, man. Fuck that. I ain't giving this up. He was like, I fucking love this EPMD. You ain't getting this shit. So, yeah, like you said, everybody didn't have money. You know, you can stream it now. You pay your $9.99 for Apple Tidal, whatever you want, and boom, you get the whole album right there when you want it. But speaking of Jadakiss, because he was the last MC from the 90s who I think can still bring it, with the caveat or the asterisk about I've never been in love with Kiss's beats in his albums. I really enjoy his mixtapes because I feel like with his albums, he has to try to appease different people. You know, I'll never forget when I got the chance to see a mixtape, I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. I can't wait for the album. That album came out, this nigga had songs with Mariah Carey. I was like, okay, fuck it. I understand when it comes to albums, that's not where I'm gonna enjoy niggas like Fab and Jadakiss. I'm gonna enjoy Fab with his soul tapes. I'm gonna enjoy Jada with his mixtapes. So, going into the Freddie versus Jason. JR, what did you think about this Freddie versus Jason?
I liked it. I thought it was hot. You know what I'm saying? At first, because when I said on Twitter I was going to listen to it, a couple people was like, yo, that shit is trash. Shit is garbage. I was like, really? With Fab and Jadakiss? Like, So then when I listened to it, I was vibing to it all day at work. So I like it. I think it's dope.
Tell me this. Who ripped it better, Kiss or Fab?
Fab.
All right. And how many mics did you do?
Because, I mean, I like 8 songs out of the 12. So, I guess, what, a 3.5? 4?
3.5. Yeah. Hey, what about you?
I liked it, man. My anticipation for the album was kind of when I first heard about and then it kind of went down. You know, we didn't think it was ever going to happen. And I think by the time it did drop, you know, I was in phase when I could keep it. But I was kind of pleasantly surprised because I thought it would be more trap beats. And really, it's maybe like 3 and 2 of the same record. Just one remix. So I was happy about that. And I didn't even expect it to be that much. I just thought they were big. And you know, they got some conceptual records on there. They got some shit on it. So I liked it. And when I first heard it, I started smiling and shit like, damn, this is better than I thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? So I like it, man.
All right. So who you would say ripped it better, Jada or Fab?
I gotta give it Fab because you know I'm an MC and Fab, like in the very beginning, I was starting to feel like Fab coming for it. I know you're not going to just let them Fab with tracks, and his nasty on a couple of them, but Fab is like. I see every time you went through, it was like, you ain't gonna this nigga burn me or whatever.
Right.
Brad was going for it, so I was excited.
All right, no doubt. How many mics you get?
I give it 4. I think it's a good project. I'm not none of you new niggas who like, yo, it's a classic and it's better than classics. Like, this is the same different version is better than get the fuck out of here, man. What are you talking about? I went another way, I'm sorry. You know what? Let me just
what is it, babe? Get your Q-tip ran out for
please.
What is it?
Please. Right? This is what niggas do. You get bored. That's what you're doing, right? Because Illmatic in this pillar for so long, and they got to do with the track I know it. But it's been this pillar for so long that now you're starting to pick at. You know what I'm saying? You look at movies and say it's not what it was, when it is what it was. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget when we was doing Strictly Hip Hop, and we did the anniversary show. Phil, you know these joints. 24 Hours of Hip Hop. And shout out to Mike Nice. Mike Nice had an interview with MC Light. And every time we did this 24-hour anniversary, we had 16, and this thing was about classic albums. The whole 24 hours we all discussed it. So Mike Nice asked MC Light, you know, what's your, favorite, which is the best hip hop album of all time? Without hesitation, she said Illmatic, and I was kind of shocked because I was like, this is like shit different era. You know what I'm saying? I thought there would be some different variables, but she was confident in that thing. Like Illmatic, down, no doubt. So when you get this nigga saying, yo, I think it was written better. It's just new niggas who are bored and they just don't know what to do with themselves. Fuck out of here. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. I was waiting, man.
Oh, man.
Get off my lawn.
Sorry, man. I ain't mean
Not at all. All right, James, what did you think of the Fab album?
I thought it was alright, man. I think Fab definitely gets the nod. He definitely gets the nod from me. But overall, man, I think they could have marinated in the studio a little bit longer, man.
All right.
My biggest problem was the production on some of the album. They both lyrically bring it, but some of the, I mean, there's some joints on there, but it was alright. I give it a
Ray? And Rack, what about you?
I'm with Jace, man. I was excited. I thought it was good to be a dope album. They've been talking about this for years. Lyrically, it's a 5, but the beats are subpar overall to me. It's okay. I gotta listen to some more, but it's okay.
All right, so Fab and Kiss.
Fab.
All right.
That's easy. That's an easy choice. That's Fab from the intro.
Oh my God!
All right, and how many mics? 3. All right, cool. For me, I had no anticipation because I've been hearing about this joint was supposed to drop so long. Again, I've never been the biggest Fab fan of his albums. You know, I heard Breathe. It was like, okay, this nigga's nice. So I know Fab is nice. I know Kiss is nice. I don't know what the beats are going to sound like. I've never loved production on either one of their albums. So I had no expectations for it. I don't want to say I love it. I want to say I really, really enjoy it. I think
it's okay to love it, Kill. If you love it, you love it. It's okay.
I'm careful.
Okay. We don't consider you a stan if you love an album, Kill.
I'm careful how I choose my words. I'm careful because you know I thoroughly like it right now. I won't say I love it. I agree with everybody.
Enjoy it.
But I will say this: that lyrically, I think Fab just went in. I think there was a time when Wu-Tang Forever came out, and this is probably just in my mind as a producer, I always felt like Primo was the dopest ever. When Wu-Tang Forever came out, I was like, yo, RZA gets this shit right, he's taking the crown. The nigga didn't get the shit right, so he didn't take the crown, long story short. But I kind of felt like it was, everybody knows Jada's dope. You know, the top 5 dead or alive, you know, all of that. I felt like Fab was coming for this nigga the whole entire album. I felt like it was like a friendly competition, but it was good competition. You know what I mean? Because from the door, from the intro, like even when I'm listening to the intro with the F, what is it? F versus J. I felt like Jadakiss came from he talking about he Jason. Fab ain't talking shit about Freddy Krueger. He ain't said nothing about I'm coming in your nightmares. Fab is just fast. There's no, you know, Jadakiss talking about, you running, I still catch you, you fall like the white chicks. Like, he coming, Fab is like, yo, when that dude said, what he say, it could have been something, I couldn't tell though. Then it came Thunder, it must have been Hoodie Mellow. Like, that dude, there's something quotable that Fab had. And I just thought Fab just was like, yo, this is it. And to me, at least for me, who was, I guess you would call me somebody who was sleeping on how nice Fab was, because to me, I wouldn't even have Fab and Jadakiss in the same conversation prior to this album. Yeah, I don't. Not to say again that Jada didn't have some nice quotables, but I think Fab killed it. The joint theme music with that Twisted, with them over the Marvin joint doing the back and forth like EPM did.
I think that's the best one.
The joint Principles when that nigga said, "Yo, Why you do him like that? Fuck him. You know, he should have had the thing on him. You know, acting Holly. Had to go Tommy on him. I'm like, this nigga just said some shit. Like, there was so many times I was like, rewind. Like, this is what I hate about not having tape decks, because even with CDs and MP3s, Apple Music don't be just rewinding like that in my car. Like, it be like, but exactly. You be having your head for like 5 seconds, though it went back one line. Like, but there was so many rewind factors on this for me that even though the production wasn't great, that it was still great. And that's something like even with Pharoah. I'm not in love with all of Pharoah's production on this album. The lyrics are so great that it kind of is just like it doesn't matter. So for me, it was just dope to see Fab like just come out the gates like, yo, this is it. Like I said, prior to this, I would have never said Fab and Kiss are even in the same category. I gotta say Fab bodied them. You know, I give it 4 mics. I'm still listening to it. So yeah, this and Conway. So that's what I got with it. But all right, so those are the MCs that we brought up.
One more. Well, I think we also looked about Outkast. 90s. They bringing that one out.
Yeah, I had one more.
Oh yeah. Who you had?
Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
Hey, anything he puts out, I buy.
Yeah. But again,
just a fan.
Are you hyped? Like, here's the thing.
Yes, I'm always hyped. I let him disappoint me.
Okay, because here's the thing. I own every Jay-Z album too, but I ain't hyped for when that nigga put shit out. So just because you don't rock with a nigga, don't mean you gotta be hyped for. But alright, so Busta and Cass, Big Boy kind of got me with this last album. You know, it wasn't. So I mean, again, Big Boy has kind of slid off that. I'm excited for it after this last album. Of course, I'll listen, but the excitement is kind of lame. Kind of the same thing. I know Vague, you said Common. For me, I want Common to go away. I want him to go away. I just want him to disappear.
You said you want him to go away?
I want him to go away. Just go away. Just stop rhyming. Stop acting. Just go away. Just.
Wow.
Can I trade you like with?
Hold on, man. What do you have against this man to where you want him to go away?
Well, here's the thing. I haven't enjoyed a comedy. Here's the thing. I believe, and I've said this plenty of times. I forgot. I think it's Mark Ransom or somebody. He made the thing by saying he made this statement saying like Stevie Wonder could have made songs in the key of life, trying to do 50 million things. Y'all always get on me because I always make my Stevie Wonder joke. Stevie could have made songs in the key of life if he had a sunglass line out. Then y'all go, oh, that's fucked up. He blind, killed. But it's true. You know, if Stevie Wonder has some Stevland Morris sunglass collection out and he's doing, you know, business opportunities for that, and then he got the beads. In this the 70s, he's doing little beads ads, and Essence and Ebony. You know, he's not gonna have time to make songs in the key of life. He made this incredible piece of music because that's all he had his mind on. That's another reason why I don't think we get incredible music, because I call it the RG3 phenomenon. Before you even have a great career, you're already working on your brain.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think like with Common, it kind of was like I was let down by the Chicago album because I felt like the No ID production wasn't great. You know, I felt like No ID was a producer up until One Day It'll All Make Sense. That I was like, yo, this dude is incredible. I wish more people heard him. Now that I hear No ID in more places, I think No ID is one of those producers, in my opinion, that if he just does a Common album every 3 years and those are the 15 beats that make it, he sounds incredible. But once he starts doing all this outside production and Common's not getting his best 15 beats, it starts to wane a little. So
I think there are a couple of factors that play in that too. But
no. What do you think?
What is the artist looking for? Because not every artist is looking for common sound.
Right. No, I agree with you. And I said this in one of my articles about beats, rhymes, and life. Imagine if Tip and Fife, a hungry Tip and Fife over the Crooklyn Dodger beat, over Give Up the Goods. Imagine Tribe Called Quest over all those beats that Q-Tip was giving other niggas during that time. We talking about a whole nother beats, rhymes, and life than what I talk about.
Yeah.
So,
but even in that though, with those beats fit that the Tribe is
I think, Tribe over Just Give Up the Goods. Yes. Tribe over Drink Away the Pain. Yes. Tribe over Crooklyn. Yes. Tribe over What else was he? Even the Get Down joint. You know,
Yeah, Get Down remix.
The Get Down remix. Like, I don't think there was anything that Tribe wouldn't have been able to fit in with that. But now I'm giving away all my hot shit to other people. So with the Common album, I just was like, I wasn't in love with No ID production. I was hyped for the Finding Forever because that was their first time getting back together from One Day It'll Make Sense, which is my favorite Common album. So I was hyped for that. For me, Common, I just think because he's doing so much, I don't hear the same hunger I heard before he started becoming a Hollywood actor. When I hear whatever albums came before he started acting, I feel like he's a better MC than he's been. But that's just like
One Day It'll All Make Sense over like Water for Chocolate.
Me personally, yeah, because I like those harder beats, like Water for Chocolate. Y'all know I'm a Dilla dude, but I just prefer again because where I was in my life when that album came out, production wise, the stuff he's talking about, Stolen Moments. For me, better. If somebody says like Water for Chocolate, I'm not like, oh, you fucking bugging. No, I get it. Like, you know, that's a dope album. I just feel like Common is not in that zone. It's something that me and Ev say all the time. If you're not in that zone, then just don't do it. Like, I'm like from the 5 Heartbeats. Like, if we ain't gonna do it,
don't do it at all.
Don't do it at all. Like, if we ain't gonna do it right, like with that Chicago album, you can't write no album about Chicago living in fucking LA shooting movies. If you're gonna do an album about Chicago, go to Chicago, live in Chicago,
and let's do it like we did it in the tunnel.
Exactly, Doug. Let's go, Doug. Let's like we did it today, Doug. That's what I'm saying. You can't. If I want to do an album about the violence in Philly, I can't do it from Waldorf, Maryland, just trying to read the paper and trying to read the news. Right. I got to go to Philly. I got to live in Philly. I got to be out at these rallies. I got to be at these funerals, seeing these mothers crying. Me and No ID got to say, you know what? We ain't doing shit else. Yo, you the VP at Def Jam. You can't do that job. Take a leave of absence for 6 months. We going to Chicago. We gonna live in the essence. We would have got another album. So it's kind of like my man Iron was always saying. We live in a society now where it's like sending tracks back and forth. And Iron made this perfect example. He said, "There's no room for God to show up." Right. Oh, there's no room for God to show up. That's so true. Yeah. And when I'm real. So JR, like me and Vegas, I think have made some incredible albums together. Put me and Vegas in the same studio in Brooklyn for 6 months, we're gonna make even better music than what we're doing, sending tracks back and forth to each other. We said well, no, not the gentrified Brooklyn, but you know, we'll find a Crosby Stillwell somewhere before they tear down the 14 projects. But that's so I feel like, you know, again, I just feel like Common, his oomph isn't there, at least for me anymore. Again, not that it's whack, not that it's not good, but to me, I can kind of feel like you ain't really writing rhymes like you did before, because for me, I say it all the time. I'm going to put more time and effort in whatever's paying me more money. If I'm doing more marriage coaching and that's paying me more money than beats, I'm going to put more time in that. Doing a movie is going to pay you more than trying to put this album out. And then
what Rand said, though, man, is whenever you involve money, you take God out of the equation. He also said that.
Yes. What are you going to say, Beck?
Well, there's one thing, though, to that, and I don't know which album it was that came out around the time he did this. Well, he was on this show I used to watch called Hell on Wheels.
Okay.
And he was excellent. I don't typically look at him as an actor, like the actor. But he was excellent in this show. But then he left because he wanted to focus more on his music. And I think that's when that Chicago case out. So that was when he won the Grammy for the soundtrack track. Because I think he wanted to focus more on the music. Now, did he accomplish his goal? I don't know about that, you know what I'm saying? But I think he just wanted to make more meaningful music. Because when you look at One Day It Don't Make Sense and those kind of albums, and when you look at these last 2 albums, these are totally different. They're like really conscious. You know, like really heavy on the conscious side. problem is I think for you, Kill, is that true? He's everywhere. Even if it's not on Will, he's shown up as a hitman in every fucking movie. And he's everywhere, you know?
But here's the thing. Do you think lyrically that he's still bringing it? Like, he would have, like, there's a song on that Chicago album, and I was like, what? This is so ABC. It was him and this girl. Do I have it up there? And it was something like, I go hard like a nigga. You know, and it was like, the way he was rhyming, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, nigga, did you fuck, is this remedial hip-hop? Like, why are you rhyming like, it's on, it's on? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did you take the time to write this, or are you like, I feel like a lot of these niggas, and I'll call, what is it when you think a nigga renege in spades? Did you just say you renege?
Renege, that's it.
What do you call this when the travels of basketball?
Yeah, what you call that when you walk without the ball and travel? I would call it travel. Because I think that nigga got kicked off Hell on Wheels. Because, motherfucker, you ain't leave no goddamn Hollywood check. I tell you this, find you an actor anywhere in the United States of America, fuck America, go to London where all them actors come from, and you find me somebody who's going to tell you, I left the series to go do an album. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. Ain't no actor gonna be like, I'm leaving ER and this ER NBC check to go right away. Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
ain't with no goddamn TV. Even how dog, if you an actor and I'm on Shameless, if I'm an actor, you think, what's my man named JB Smooth? You think that nigga leaving Curb Your Enthusiasm? That nigga ain't.
No.
Curb Your Enthusiasm gets dope ass ratings.
If you an actor, the way actors are in Hollywood trying to find a job, if you a black actor and you got a job, my nigga, you ain't leaving that job. You gonna be pissed. But here's the thing: most people who do movies, most actors who do movies, actually want series because you're getting a lot more exposure from that series. You're getting a lot more money back on those series. So that's why for a while we started seeing Morris Chestnut not doing movies and he had a series. We saw Taraji not doing a lot of movies and doing series. We saw Megan Good. We saw a lot of our black actors and actresses who were in movies now moving to TV because it was safer, because you knew you had a job and you had a steady paycheck coming every week or every month versus it being, oh, I got a movie this year, oh, I got a movie next year. So that's it. No black actor or actress is losing no motherfucking. Yo, ask Gabrielle Union. She pissed.
But he's not a black actor or actress.
But he thinks he is. That nigga told you on the other album, I got my SAG card. That nigga think he an actor, goddammit. That nigga been a more. I want to see. That nigga was in Selma, and every time I see Common, he Common. I don't never see Common nobody else. That's a hit, man. This is a goddamn win. I'm like, yo, this nigga. Right, Vegas, he is everywhere, and he don't deserve to be. He's up there with Latifah. Because I'm like, what did you do? You got naked pictures of God or something, because Latifah don't deserve all these accolades and actresses and shit that she's getting. Same thing with Common. Common's not a good actor. Where's Mos Def? I know he in Africa somewhere, but Mos Def is a good actor. Yeah, that's a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
Common is not a good actor, because every time I hear he goes the same. This nigga can't even lose his accent. That's the first thing you used to learn at Morgan. If you got an accent, you gotta lose that to being right. This nigga sound like Common with a cold on every damn. You ain't even lose your cold accent. Sound like you need some damn NyQuil. But I digress. So,
oh, now you digress.
Right. Stop doing all this other shit and really just sit down and make an album. Now I think we can get that comment back. But I think a lot of our MCs from the 90s who now have other things that they can do, those other things pay a lot more money. And I believe that when the label comes to you like, hey, time to do an album, most of these rappers are like, damn, really? I gotta do an album? I'm gonna shoot this movie. Okay, No ID, send me 20 beats. Again, No ID, if I'm not mistaken, is like the VP of Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
So this dude is in the industry. This dude got a job now. He can't just make beats all day. I gotta get these projects off the ground. So he don't have the time. Common don't have the same time. But then we expect a great album. I don't, because neither one of y'all niggas got the time. If a marriage is going through trouble and neither one of y'all want to take the time to fix it, I don't expect these niggas to have a good marriage.
Truth is stranger than fiction, yo. We don't know all the details.
You're right. I'm just saying, in my opinion, Common's last 2 albums have been subpar for the MC that I know he can be. And that's just my opinion. You know, Veg, as an MC, do you think would you grade him in the same, you know, we all got kids, you know, if he was an A on Like Water for Chocolate and B and One Day It Would All Make Sense, what grade would you give him lyrically as an MC on these last 2 albums he dropped?
Well, I don't look at these albums as MC albums. I think they're artists.
Okay.
Because of the concept and the development and to be high. You know,
I always would look at Common as an artist because even with One Day It All Makes Sense, lots of concepts. The whole, you know, Who Robbed the House, the whole joint with Lauren. So I think he's always had concepts. You know,
but a lot of those, except for maybe the one with Bill Borton on it, which is very different. Kind of like typical hip hop choice. He just did an excellent job with them. Whereas these, you can tell he was influenced by everything that was going on over there. Like those streets. I think that was just all the stuff that was happening in Chicago. That's what his mission was. But see, the good shit that you found on those albums was because you ain't never heard Universal Mind Control. That's you gonna take back everything you said. That is the funny shit. That's when I'm like, nigga, go back in that.
Especially at the
I think he's still active because like even between the acting and all that. When him and Drake was being a little bit, he had some fun with Drake, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. But you know what? Maybe is that the Nas phenomenon that we gonna make subpar music until somebody gets on us?
Probably.
And now I'm hungry again because I forgot the name of the song that he did. Why you got that album up here? What was that joint? That was the joint called Sweet. That was that joint Sweet came out with. That was dope as hell. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what has to happen. We gonna get some MCs to diss some of our favorite rappers to see if we can get the hunger back in them, and see if we can. If that will spark the fire in somebody. So, Bang, I need you to diss Common. I need you. Who else we got? I need you to diss a couple of people so we can get the hunger back in them, so then they can be ready.
Man, I'm lazy as shit, man.
You turn to Conor McGregor.
You got McGregor?
Yeah, give me a Conor McGregor nigga.
All right. Dope combo and dope point two, man. Dope point two on Com wanting to be. I guess I'm just like, even if you want to be an activist, can't your activist rhymes be dope? I'm gonna leave it alone.
Well, this is the last thing I'll say. Because I was down there for that concert, and I was getting with the song.
Oh, that what is that shit? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, some spirit.
Common performed. That motherfucker is great. And he performed everything. He performed on Universal Mind Control music. I was waiting too, like, yeah, nigga, perform that shit. But you didn't do it. But you know, something new material, classics. And it was excellent. The crowd was captivated. That energy there. So he's fully committed to the music, but I get what you're saying when it comes to hunkering down in the studio. Let's make something. I think all these dudes, even Eminem, because I'm like, well, shit, you're gonna go down there anyway. You love hip hop, signing niggas like Conway and Westside Gun. You just do a straight up hip hop. Because you haven't done that.
Yeah, that walk on walk shit was whack. Terrible.
The Beyonce joint?
Yeah, hell.
Yeah, that shit was trash. I was like, what the fuck is this supposed to be like? You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible. But I think a lot of these dudes, like you were saying, from the 90s, not even just dissing, I think they just too into the business side. You know what I'm saying? Everything fucking strategy.
Very true. Very true.
If you're in a position where you have nothing to lose, kind of like what Jay-Z did with 444, he like, fuck it, I'm just talking about my relationship the whole time. But his strategy is actually hard because you're trying to give people what they want from some of the beats and, some songs not being like trap beats and shit like that. But also everybody's so interested in what they're doing with Beyonce. He kind of wax like somebody like, nah, it's just like, you might as well just release a real hip-hop album because what are people on our pop side really anticipating if not? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they want?
True.
You know what we want, but what the fuck do they want? You know, don't know Salam money, man. It's much, yeah.
I feel you on that. Yo, I know I feel you on that. Right, give them all your info, man.
That was entertaining. I love it. Thank you. Hey, Foundation at SoundCloud is at JREC1. New episode to be up tonight. And Twitter is at DJREC1. And IG is Worldwide Rec1.
All right, no doubt. Jace, give them everything, bro.
Twitter is at JERIKTYLER. IG is at JCharlie0801. 2 more weeks left in class. 1 class left. Not that I'm counting.
That's what's up.
I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you. JR, give them everything.
JR's World of Soul, Music Soul Nick on Twitter, Instagram, and is that it? Yeah, that's it.
All right. Dopest
What happened?
Dopest R&B album right now. I need
the dopest R&B album right now. Since PJ got the nomination, I've been rocking to him. So him,
Yo, who?
I'm still rocking to. I said PJ, since he got the nomination, I've still been rocking to him. So Stokely joint, of course, Mary. That's it. And Eric can come off the top.
All right. Hey, give them all your stuff.
You can follow me on social media at Vegas World and check out my podcast, Poppin' That Podcast, SoundCloud.com/Hip-Hop Now Podcast. I'm going to be talking about the Grammys, the nominees in hip-hop, what everybody feel about Q-Tip, and basically all of the music that we got in hip-hop.
All right, no doubt. And you already know this with me, Kill889 on Twitter, on IG, willmakebeatsforfood.com. I'll check y'all next week, man. Thank y'all for an entertaining, as always, show, man, for real.